What if I told you that success isn't just about hard work? It's about alignment, that your thoughts, beliefs, and energy shape the opportunities that come your way. Think about the most successful people in the world. They don't just wish for success, they attract it. They focus on possibilities, not limitations. They see opportunities where others see obstacles. And guess what? You can do the same. Success is something that we all want, isn't it? But here's what we often overlook. Success is not something you pursue, it's something you attract by the person you become. You see, chasing success can lead to frustration and exhaustion because the more you chase it, the more it seems to slip away. But when you focus on becoming the kind of person who naturally attracts success, you don't have to chase it anymore. Success finds you. So let me ask you something. What kind of person are you becoming? That's where it all begins. You might be asking yourself, what does it mean to become a person who attracts success? Well, it starts with developing your character, refining your habits, and sharpening your mindset. Success, my friends, is attracted to certain qualities: discipline, perseverance, generosity, integrity. It's drawn to people who add value to the world, people who are constantly growing, constantly improving. It's attracted to individuals who are intentional with their lives, people who have goals, people who have a vision. Success isn't something you stumble into, it's something you grow into. And the key to that growth? Work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Because here's the truth. Your job may pay the bills, but your personal growth determines your future. I learned this lesson early on, and let me tell you, it changed everything. I remember a time when I was just scraping by, working hard, doing everything I was told, yet somehow always falling behind. I couldn't figure it out. I was showing up every day, putting in the hours, but my situation wasn't improving. Then one day, a mentor pulled me aside and said, "You're working hard on your job, but how much time are you spending working on yourself?" And that hit me, because the answer was, not much. So I made a decision. I was going to change. I started waking up earlier, reading books, listening to audios, attending seminars. I invested in skills that made me more valuable: communication, leadership, financial intelligence. And guess what happened? The opportunities I had been chasing started coming to me. Promotions, partnerships, new ventures. It was like the world had suddenly decided I was ready for the next level. But the truth is, the world didn't change, I changed. And because I changed, my results changed. See, most people think the secret to getting ahead is working longer hours. And sure, hard work is important, but if that's all it took, every construction worker, every factory worker, every taxi driver would be rich. The real secret isn't just working hard. It's becoming someone worth more. Because here's the deal. You don't get paid for time, you get paid for value. If your boss could hire someone else to do your job for half the price, they would. But when you bring value no one else can, when you develop skills no one else has, you become irreplaceable. And when you become irreplaceable, everything changes. It's like this. Imagine two employees in the same company. One shows up, does the job, collects the paycheck. The other? He's reading books on leadership, learning new skills, taking courses to get better at his craft. One stays the same, the other grows. Give it a year, who's getting the promotion? Give it 5 years, who's running the company? That's the power of personal development. It's the reason why some people seem to attract success effortlessly while others struggle just to get by. The people at the top didn't get lucky. They became the kind of people that top positions are given to. And the good news? Anyone can do it. You don't have to be born with special talent. You don't need a fancy degree. All you need is the discipline to work on yourself every day. So here's the challenge. Starting today, spend at least 30 minutes a day improving yourself. Read books on success, on communication, on leadership. Listen to audios while you drive. Learn a new skill. Because if you do, I promise you this, your life will change in ways you never imagined. You won't have to chase success anymore. It'll come looking for you. Everybody has goals. Everybody has dreams. The difference between the people who achieve their goals and those who don't isn't luck, talent, or intelligence. It's discipline. Discipline is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. It's what turns intentions into results, dreams into reality. Without it, success is just a wish. I remember a time when I was full of ambition but short on discipline. I had big plans, big ideas, but no real structure. I would get excited about something, start strong, and then, after a few weeks, life would get in the way. Maybe you've been there too. You start a new habit, a new project, a new goal, and for a little while, you're on fire. But then it gets tough. You don't feel like doing it one day, then two, then three. Before you know it, you've stopped completely. And that was my cycle, until I finally realized something. Success doesn't care how excited you were when you started. It only cares about what you do consistently. And consistency requires discipline. Take health, for example. Have you ever seen someone who's in incredible shape and thought, wow, they must have great genetics? But then you look closer and realize they show up to the gym every single day. They watch what they eat. They put in the work. It's not genetics, it's discipline. Or think about financial success. The people who build wealth don't do it overnight. They don't do it by making one good decision. They do it by making small, smart financial decisions every single day. They save when others spend. They invest when others waste. It's discipline that turns small choices into massive results. I saw this lesson play out in my own life. Early on, I struggled with discipline. I wanted success, but I wasn't willing to do the daily work. Then one day, a mentor of mine gave me the best advice I ever received. He said, "The secret to success is doing what you need to do, even when you don't feel like it." And that hit me. Because let's be honest, most days, you won't feel like it. You won't feel like waking up early, going the extra mile, pushing past your comfort zone. But if you let feelings dictate your actions, you'll never get anywhere. So I made a commitment. I started small. Reading for 30 minutes a day, writing down my goals every morning, making sure I followed through on the promises I made to myself. And you know what happened? At first, nothing. No overnight success, no immediate breakthroughs. But then, after a few months, things started to shift. My mind was sharper, my confidence grew, opportunities started appearing, and it all traced back to one thing: discipline. That's the formula. Discipline creates habits, habits create consistency, and consistency creates results. It's not about motivation. Motivation comes and goes. Discipline is what keeps you moving when motivation runs out. The best part, anyone can develop it. It's not something you're born with. It's something you build, one small decision at a time. So the next time you don't feel like doing the work, remind yourself, this is the moment that separates me from everyone else. Because in that moment, the decision you make to push forward or to quit, and if you choose discipline, one day you'll look back and realize that everything you've accomplished, every success, every breakthrough was simply the result of showing up every single day and doing what needed to be done. Failure is not a punishment. Failure is your best teacher. Yet so many people are afraid of it. They treat failure like a stop sign, when really it's just a guidepost, pointing them in a better direction. The truth is, if you're trying to achieve something great, you're going to fail, probably more than once. The question isn't whether you'll fail. The question is, what will you learn from it? I can tell you from experience, my biggest lessons didn't come from my victories, they came from my failures. I remember one of my first business ventures. I had big plans, big ideas, and I jumped in with excitement. But I made mistakes. I underestimated the work, overestimated the results, and within a short time, the whole thing collapsed. I lost money, time, and confidence. It felt like the end of the world. I started doubting myself, wondering if I even had what it took to succeed. But then I realized something. The failure wasn't final. It was feedback. It was teaching me exactly what I needed to improve. So I studied what went wrong. I figured out where I had made poor decisions, where I had missed key details. And when I tried again, I was smarter, sharper, more prepared. That failure turned out to be the best thing that ever happened to me because it gave me the knowledge and experience I needed to get it right the next time. That's how it works. Failure isn't a signal to quit. It's an opportunity to grow. The most successful people in the world aren't the ones who never fail. They're the ones who refuse to let failure define them. They look at failure like a scientist looks at an experiment. If it doesn't work, they adjust, learn, and try again. Think about an athlete training for a championship. They don't win because they never lose. They win because every loss teaches them something. They study their mistakes, refine their strategy, and come back stronger. It's the same in life. Every time you stumble, you gain wisdom. Wisdom that the person who never tries will never have. The problem is, most people are so afraid of failing that they never take risks. They never push themselves beyond what's comfortable, but avoiding failure doesn't lead to success. It leads to regret. And if you're going to look back one day, wouldn't you rather say, I tried, I learned, and I grew, instead of, I wish I had been brave enough to go for it? The key is to change how you see failure. Instead of fearing it, expect it. Instead of avoiding it, embrace it. Because every failure contains a lesson, and those lessons are what prepare you for success. No one gets it right the first time. No one becomes great without setbacks. But those who learn from failure, instead of running from it, are the ones who eventually win. So the next time you fall short, don't get discouraged. Take a deep breath, step back, and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Because if you take that lesson, apply it, and keep moving forward, you'll find that failure isn't something to be feared. It's something to be grateful for. Your attitude is like a magnet. It determines what you attract into your life. A positive mental attitude won't magically solve all your problems. But I promise you this, it will help you handle them better. It will help you see opportunities where others see obstacles. It will keep you moving forward when most people would give up. And ultimately, it will shape your future. I learned this the hard way. There was a time in my life when things weren't going my way. I had setbacks, disappointments, and plenty of reasons to feel discouraged. And for a while, I let it get to me. I started seeing everything through a negative lens. Every problem felt bigger, every challenge felt impossible, and every small failure felt like the end of the world. And you know what happened? It just made things worse. My attitude wasn't fixing anything. It was making everything harder. Then one day, I met a man who had been through more struggles than I could imagine. He had lost everything, his business, his home, even his health. But when I spoke to him, you would have thought he was the luckiest man in the world. He still smiled, he still had goals, he still believed things would turn around. I asked him how he stayed so positive, and I'll never forget what he told me. He said, you can't always control what happens to you, but you can always control how you respond. And how you respond determines where you go next. That conversation changed me. I realized that a negative attitude wasn't going to solve my problems, but a positive one might. So I made a decision. I was going to focus on solutions instead of problems. I was going to find something to be grateful for, no matter what. I was going to keep my mind focused on what was possible instead of what was wrong. And let me tell you, everything started to shift. Did my problems disappear overnight? No, but I started handling them better. I started attracting better opportunities, better people, better results. And more than anything, I started feeling different, stronger, more confident, more in control. The truth is, life happens to all of us. Everyone faces difficulties, setbacks, and challenges. But the people who succeed are the ones who refuse to let negativity take over. They don't let one bad day turn into a bad week, or one failure turn into a lifetime of doubt. They keep their attitude in check because they understand that mindset is everything. That mindset is everything. Think about it. Two people can go through the same situation. One comes out broken, the other comes out stronger. The difference? Attitude. One focuses on what they lost, the other focuses on what they learned. One sees failure, the other sees an opportunity to grow. Keeping a positive mental attitude doesn't mean ignoring reality. It doesn't mean pretending everything is perfect. It means choosing to focus on what you can control. It means believing that no matter what happens, you have the ability to figure it out, to adjust, and to keep moving forward. So if you're going through a tough time right now, ask yourself, what am I focusing on? Am I looking for solutions or just dwelling on the problem? Because I promise you, when you shift your mindset, when you choose to see the good, to find the lesson, to believe in your ability to turn things around, you'll start seeing new doors open, doors that were always there, but you just couldn't see before. Growth isn't something you do once. It's something you commit to for life. The moment you stop growing, you start falling behind because life keeps moving, the world keeps changing, and if you're not improving, you're getting left behind. The key to lasting success isn't just working hard for a season. It's making personal development a lifelong habit. I remember when I first started out, I had a hunger to learn. I read every book I could get my hands on, listened to successful people, and took notes like my future depended on it. Because it did. And as long as I was learning, I was growing. But then something happened. After a few years of success, I got comfortable. I thought I had learned enough. I started coasting. And you know what happened? My results started to slow down. The opportunities didn't seem as big anymore. My income plateaued, and I couldn't figure out why. Then it hit me. I had stopped growing. The things that got me to that level weren't enough to take me any further. I had outgrown my old knowledge, my old skills. And if I wanted to reach new heights, I needed new growth. So I made a decision. I went back to studying, back to learning, back to improving myself every single day. And sure enough, things started moving again. New opportunities, new breakthroughs, new success. Not because the world changed, but because I changed. That's how it works. Your level of success will never exceed your level of growth. If you want more, you have to become more. If you want to earn more, lead more, achieve more, then you have to grow more. The person you are today has brought you as far as you can go, but the person you're becoming will take you further. Look at the most successful people in the world. They never stop growing. They read, they learn, they push themselves beyond their limits. Athletes don't stop training just because they win a championship. Musicians don't stop practicing just because they've played a great concert. Business leaders don't stop innovating just because they've had a good year. The best of the best know that growth is never. Think of it like this. Imagine you plant a tree. It starts as a small seed, and over time it grows. It gets stronger, taller, more fruitful. But what happens if it stops growing? It starts dying. The same is true for us. The moment we stop growing, we stop progressing. The challenge is, most people get stuck in their routines. They wake up, go to work, come home, and repeat, day after day, year after year. But here's the question. What are you doing to grow? Are you reading? Are you learning new skills? Are you surrounding yourself with people who challenge you to be better? Or are you just going through the motions, hoping things will somehow change on their own? Because nothing changes until you change. The good news is, you don't have to wait for someone to give you permission. You don't have to wait for the perfect moment. Growth is a choice, and you can start today. Pick up a book, listen to a mentor, challenge yourself to step outside your comfort zone, because the day you decide to never stop growing is the day your future starts expanding in ways you never imagined. Gratitude is one of the most powerful forces you can harness in your life. It changes how you see the world, how you experience success, and even how much you attract into your life. Most people think happiness comes after success, but it's the other way around. Gratitude creates the mindset for success. When you're grateful for what you have, you open the door for more. I remember a time when I was chasing after the next big thing: more money, more opportunities, more achievements. And every time I reached one goal, I barely took a moment to appreciate it before moving on to the next. I thought that was how you succeeded, always looking ahead, always pushing forward. But something felt off. No matter how much I achieved, I still felt like something was missing. Then one day I met a man who had far less than I did, yet he seemed 10 times happier. He wasn't rich, he wasn't famous, but he had a peace about him that I couldn't ignore. I asked him his secret, and he simply said, "I'm grateful for what I have." He told me most people spend their whole lives chasing after more, never realizing they already have enough to be happy. That hit me, because for the first time, I realized I had been focusing so much on what I didn't have that I had forgotten to appreciate what I did have. Gratitude isn't about settling. It's not about saying, "I don't want more." It's about saying, "I already have more than enough to be thankful for." And when you adopt that mindset, something amazing happens. You start attracting more. Instead of feeling frustrated over what's missing, you feel energized by what's already there. Instead of focusing on limitations, you start seeing possibilities. Think about it. Have you ever given someone a gift and they barely acknowledged it? How did that make you feel? Now imagine giving someone a small gift and they light up with appreciation, thanking you over and over. Who do you think you'd be more excited to give to again? Life works the same way. When you appreciate what you have, more opportunities seem to find their way to you. Gratitude also changes how you handle challenges. When you focus only on what's wrong, every problem feels like a burden. But when you train your mind to see the good, even in difficult times, you develop resilience. Instead of saying, "Why is this happening to me?" you start saying, "What can I learn from this?" And that shift in perspective makes all the difference. I made a simple change in my life that completely transformed my mindset. Every morning, before I did anything else, I wrote down 3 things I was grateful for. Some days, it was something big, an opportunity, a breakthrough, a relationship. Other days, it was something small, a warm cup of coffee, a good conversation, a lesson learned. And you know what? That one habit changed how I saw everything. The more I focused on what was good in my life, the more good I started to see. So if you want to attract success, start with gratitude. Take a moment each day to appreciate what you have, no matter how small. Because when you're grateful for where you are, life has a way of taking you even further. Success isn't a mystery. It's not reserved for a lucky few or those born into the right circumstances. It's something you can attract into your life by changing the way you think, act, and respond to the world around you. Everything we've talked about, working on yourself, staying disciplined, learning from failure, keeping a positive attitude, committing to growth, and practicing gratitude, are all pieces of a powerful formula. When you align your mind and actions with the principles of success, success has no choice but to be drawn to you. The law of attraction is always at work. Whether you realize it or not, you are constantly attracting the results that match your mindset and habits. If you focus on problems, you'll attract more problems. If you dwell on what's missing, you'll feel a constant sense of lack. But when you focus on opportunities, when you believe that success is possible for you, when you commit to becoming the kind of person success is drawn to, you begin to see doors open that you never noticed before. You begin to see doors. I've seen this play out in my own life and in the lives of so many others. The people who achieve greatness aren't always the smartest or the most talented, but they are the ones who believe in possibilities, take action, and refuse to let setbacks define them. They are the ones who understand that success isn't something you chase, it's something you attract by the person you become. So ask yourself, who am I becoming? Are you developing the habits, the mindset, and the discipline that attracts success? Are you surrounding yourself with people who challenge and inspire you? Are you feeding your mind with knowledge, keeping a spirit of gratitude, and taking responsibility for your future? If the answer is yes, then I promise you, it's only a matter of time before success finds its way to you. But don't just listen to these words and walk away unchanged. Take action. Start small if you have to, but start. Set a new goal, commit to daily growth, shift your mindset, and practice gratitude. You don't need all the answers right now. You just need to take the first step. Because the truth is, your future is not determined by your past. It's shaped by what you do today. And if you make the decision right now to become the kind of person success is attracted to, then there is no limit to what you can achieve.